All right, let's dive into something pretty crucial in project management, and that is risk management plans. And we are going to be taking a lot of our information from Project Management for Project Managers by Orlando Passabon. So you're working on a project, right? And of course, you want to avoid any disasters. So where do you even begin? How can you even create a plan that handles all the what ifs?
Yeah, that's a great question. So much of project management really does revolve around the what ifs, doesn't it?
Right. And I feel like sometimes people think a risk management plan is just this like big list of everything that could go wrong.
That's a really common misconception. A risk management plan isn't just a list of risks, it's actually more like a framework.
Mm.
It's a set of processes designed to help you deal with risks effectively throughout the project lifecycle.
Ooh, that's fascinating. So it's not about knowing every single risk,
Yeah.
but more like having this set of rules for how to play the game, so to speak.
Exactly. Just like any game, you need clear rules to play it effectively, and a risk management plan provides that structure for dealing with uncertainty in your project.
Okay, I love that. So let's unpack that a bit. What are some of the key elements that go into creating this framework, this set of rules?
Well, first, you need a structured approach for identifying potential risks. That might involve things like brainstorming sessions with your team, getting everyone's perspectives, and you can, review historical data from similar projects to see what kind of risks have cropped up in the past, maybe even conducting stakeholder interviews to understand their concerns.
So it's about tapping into a lot of different sources to really get a comprehensive view of what you might be up against.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then once you've identified these potential risks, you need a way to assess them. How likely are they to occur? And if they do occur, what's the potential impact on the project? We need some kind of system, right?
Yeah, because I mean, you could have like a million potential risks, but if only a handful of them are actually likely to happen and have a really big impact,
Yeah.
then those are the ones you need to like really focus your energy on, right?
Exactly. So this is where a risk assessment matrix can be super helpful. It helps you visually map out each risk based on its probability and impact. So you can see like high probability, low impact, or vice versa. And it just gives you a clear picture of which risks need the most attention.
Yeah, this is making me realize why having just a list wouldn't really cut it.
Right, exactly. And then once you've identified and assessed these risks, you need strategies to manage them. So some risks you might want to try to avoid altogether, like if there's a risk that could completely derail your project, you want to figure out how to avoid that at all costs.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
And then other risks you might accept, they might be low impact and the cost of avoiding them might be too high, but you would have a contingency plan in place if they do materialize.
Ooh, so like a backup plan.
Right, exactly, like a backup plan, just in case. And then for some risks, you might want to try to mitigate their impact, maybe by taking preventative measures or implementing some kind of safety net.
This is where things get really interesting, right? It's not just about identifying what could go wrong. It's about actually proactively shaping how you're going to respond to those challenges.
Yeah, absolutely. And a key part of that is clearly defining roles and responsibilities. Who is responsible for monitoring each risk? Who makes the call if a risk response plan needs to be activated? A good plan leaves no room for confusion when things get tough.
So it's like having a designated firefighter, so to speak, for each potential fire.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. So we've talked about what should be in a risk management plan, but let's flip the script. What
Okay.
doesn't belong in a risk management plan? If we're not listing every single risk in the plan itself, where does all that go?
Yeah, good point. So where does that information actually live?
That's where something called the risk register comes in. It's like a companion document to the risk management plan. It's very dynamic. It's this living document that captures those specific risks, their descriptions, who's assigned to them, proposed responses, and any updates or changes that happen throughout the project.
Okay, so the risk management plan is kind of like the playbook,
Hmm.
and the risk register is where you actually track the specific plays during the game.
Exactly. The plan provides the framework, the how. The risk register houses the specifics, the what.
I'm loving all these sports analogies today.
Me too. And just like a good coach uses a playbook to guide their team, a good project manager uses the risk management plan to navigate the inevitable uncertainties of project.
So to kind of recap here, the risk management plan isn't about eliminating risk altogether. It's about creating this system to manage it intelligently and proactively, right?
Absolutely. And having that clear distinction between the plan itself and then the risk register, that's absolutely crucial for any project manager to understand.
Well said. And for anyone who wants to really dive deep into all of this, Project Management for Project Managers by Orlando Casavon, that is definitely the place to go.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
All right, well, until next time, where will your deep dive take you?